Hey guys, Matt Bevan here on Nomad Trainer. I'm going to take you through a short routine that you can do at home in your living room without any equipment. And the purpose of this workout is to help you improve your posture after spending a long time sat down, say it's in a car or at a desk or traveling. So follow along with me. We're going to take you through some mobility, some stretches and some activation exercises to make the tight muscles looser and the weaker muscles stronger, so we even out how the body is overall. So the first thing we're going to start off with, you're going to be on your hands and knees. I don't have a yoga mat. A yoga mat would probably be more beneficial, but I'm just doing it on a rug in my living room to show that you don't need to necessarily have a yoga mat. And you're going to want to make sure that your toes are tucked and your hands are spread. So the fingers are wide, and then you're just going to rock backwards and forwards. So as you go back, you stretch your toes. As you go forward, you stretch your wrists. Our feet and our wrists and our toes and our fingers are areas that we sometimes neglect, and especially if we're spending a lot of time sat down, these parts of the body can get quite tight. If you're spending a lot of time using a smartphone or a keyboard or driving, repetitive movements with the wrists means that the muscles in there get quite tight. So as we're rocking forwards and backwards, we're trying to go a little bit further each way each time. And then you can actually turn the fingers facing back towards you and give yourself a little bit of a deeper stretch. So if you do another 5 to 10 reps like this, if it's too intense, you can just go back to fingers facing forwards. So always good to give some love to the hands and the feet. Then we're going to make more of a tabletop position. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and we're going to go for threading the needle. So this is mobilizing the back and the spine. Try and get your shoulder to touch the floor every single rep. Spend 1.5 seconds on the floor. Keep breathing long and slow breaths. Going to aim for a total of 10 to 12 reps here. Feeling the stretch in the shoulder blade. So as I'm going this way, is my left shoulder blade that is getting open. And as I'm going this way, with my right hand through, is my right shoulder blade. Next one we're going to do, replace the hands nice and square. And we're going to go for some cat-cows. So arching the tailbone up, head goes up, belly button down, inhaling. Exhaling, rounding the spine, belly button gets sucked up, tailbone, head, both down. Inhale, arching the back. Exhale, rounding. I'm going to go for about 5 or 6 of these, taking it nice and slow with the breath. Feeling every part of the spine moving in each direction. One more breath. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, rounding down. Then we're going to do one more mobility, which is going to be called World's Greatest Stretch or Spider Lunges. So you're going to try and put your right foot outside of your right hand, reach the right arm up, and then hand goes down. Bring the right foot back, left foot outside the left hand, left arm up. If you can't quite reach the foot to the hand and you need to give it a little bit of a help, that's totally fine. Usually you'll loosen up after the first few reps. We can also do this with the back knees on the floor as well, if that's easier. But I find a nice stretch when you lift that back knee up in the hips. We're going for a total of 10 to 12 repetitions, so 5 or 6 on each side. reaching as high as you can up to the ceiling, hand goes back down, and then over to the other side. Good. Okay, so the way that we like to do this when we're trying to work on imbalances, we want to think about which muscles are tight and which muscles are loose, and which muscles are weak and which muscles are too strong in comparison. So that's what a muscular imbalance is. When we think about getting tight in a desk posture, the key areas that we want to loosen would be the hips, the front of the hips from sitting down, the lower back, the pecs, and the neck. So here, 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 and here. So you probably would find that these areas were naturally tight for you, probably caused from lots of time spent sat down. So we're going to do the first one, which is going to be the hip flexors. And this one's called couch stretch because it's really good to do next to your sofa. So I like to put a cushion down on the floor for my knee. I bring this foot up to the sofa. I bring my forward foot in front and I press the hips forwards like this. So now we're getting a really good stretch in the front of the hip flexor. If we want to increase this stretch, you can lift this arm up. So this side is being stretched, the left side, so I'm lifting my left arm up and I'm leaning slightly to the right. Now, the fascia that's going through here is all pulling up in this direction. The knee is pulling the hip down in the downwards direction. We're getting a really good stretch. When we're doing these static stretches, we want to hold for at least 20 to 30 seconds and breathe slowly so that your body and your brain know that you're trying to relax. When you relax, you open the joints more. If you're doing short, sharp breaths, the body's going to feel like it's stressed and it's going to try and tighten up more. Okay, so that was about 30 seconds. We switch sides. We put left foot forward, right knee behind, and then straighten up, lean forwards, should get a good stretch out of that. Right arm up and lean over to the left. One side may feel tighter than the other, that's totally normal. One side might be easier than the other, also very normal. We want to make sure that all this area behind is nice and comfortable, so use the cushions to keep pressing your knees into the hard floor. And you can always try and push the hips gently more forwards if you need to get a bit more of a stretch. Don't worry too much about placement of the back knee. Just try and find the stretch in the front of the hips. Okay, so that was the hip flexor stretches. Next one we're going to do is lying on the floor. It's for the lower back, the quadratus lumborum, but you don't need to know that specifically. You're going to lie on your back. It's called a crucifix stretch. So we're going to lift your right leg off the floor, hold it with the left hand, and then pull it across the body and look over to the right hand. I'm going to try and keep both shoulder blades on the floor. And then as you're pulling the leg that way, we're going to feel it in this part of the lower back. You might feel it a bit in the glute. You just need to maneuver it around a little bit, maybe lift it up a bit or move it down a little bit until you notice the stretch coming through the lower back there. And the more you reach your right arm away and look over to it, the better that stretch is going to be. And remember, key is to slow down the breathing. Long, slow exhales. And then slowly come back. I'm going to straighten this leg, switch to the other side, grab with the hand, reach the left arm away and pull gently across. We don't want to be forcing it, so we don't want to be like yanking your knee to the floor, just guiding it to the floor on the right side there and just letting things roll naturally. Every exhale, you might find that you can find an extra centimetre. Most of us are slightly twisted one way or another. So like I said with the previous one, you might find one side is easier, one side is tighter. That's totally normal. Good, and then slowly come out of the stretch. Come back up, and we're gonna move on to pecs. So this muscle here, the chest, is going to get very tight from rounding forwards, typing, driving, all those things I mentioned before. So we wanna stretch and open up the pecs. We're gonna use the sofa again, and you're gonna make a right angle with your elbow, and you're gonna rest the forearm flat, perpendicular to the upper arm. Spread the fingers and then bring the other hand wider, and you're going to slowly lower your chest, your nose down to the floor, and then as you do that, the lower you get, the more you'll feel a stretch in your chest. So you should feel all the way from your shoulder, not quite into the middle of your chest, but in that bit where we get tightness. Long, slow breaths. Every exhale, try and get the nose down a little bit lower, but not forcing anything as well. Slowly come up. We're going to do the other side. So, arm goes up, go a little bit wider. This hand also wide, so you have the space to open up the chest like this. If you can't quite feel it, same thing, just move up and down a little bit or slightly left and right until you feel, yeah, that's definitely the right stretch. This one's like similar to a wall chest stretch, but we're using gravity this time to bring it down. Last long, slow breath in. Even longer, slower exhale. Cool. And then I'm going to give you one more stretch. So you'll probably find that when you get a massage, these areas in your shoulders, your upper traps, that's like the classic place that you want to get a massage. So when we're spending a lot of time slightly hunched like this, more tension comes into the shoulders and the traps. So here's a simple way to stretch them. It can feel a bit strange at first and it takes a while to get it, but we're going to start by putting our left hand behind and trying to reach it here. Right hand on the head, bring the ear to the shoulder and then chin down towards the chest, and just don't yank it, don't pull it, just use the hand on the head as a weight until you get a stretch all along in here. Long, slow breaths. This one you want to be careful with, as I said, don't pull hard. Just guide the head, ear onto the shoulder, chin down to the chest. And then this other hand, the one that's behind the back, keep pulling that down and away. Slowly as you can come out of it. And then before we do the other side, just do a few neck rotations just to loosen up a bit. And then we'll go to the other side. So right hand goes behind the back. We'll just show you from another angle. Leaning the ear to the shoulder, chin towards the chest. Also, if you can't do this kneeling, you can do it on a chair or even standing as well. You can even pull the skin a little bit on your head, and you notice that you might get a little bit more of a stretch. And then once you've done about 30 seconds, you can slowly come back out of it. Same again, a couple of little neck rotations. And that is all of the mobility. So hopefully that's going to help you feel looser after spending a long day working at a desk, driving in a car, or traveling on a plane. Don't forget you can download the PDF below, which has a breakdown of all the movements, how much time, how many reps, so that you can use it again in the future.